Hi guys, we are doing a pick a card reading for What is Your Purpose? But before we get started, I would like to announce my friend's shop, Light Minded. She has a nice range of soaps, bath bombs, and candles. She uses simple ingredients, all 100% vegan and animal cruelty free, which I absolutely love. I have very sensitive skin, so certain soaps and certain bath bombs cannot do it for me. It actually causes irritation and rashes and redness. But with her soaps and her bath bombs, I have no issue with them, and I absolutely love it because the scent is not too strong, but at the same time it's not weak, so I can still smell the soap on me from the next day after I took the shower, and I really love that because again, it's not overpowering, but I still like that clean smell that it comes with. I love all of her scents pretty much, and everything that she has right now is very nature and very earthy scents. The theme that is going on right now is mountains. If you guys do not know, me and my friend, we live in the mountains, and so we wanted to do something to sponsor for our community, and I absolutely love these products, you guys. I'm the type of person that I would not get on this channel and tell you about someone's product if I did not use it myself or if I did not believe in products when she makes them. She does it with love, and I really love her soaps and I really love her candles the most. Now, look at this. It's Summit Sunset is the candle that I got. I absolutely love the smell of it. Look how beautiful this is on the inside, you guys. She garnishes it with real dry herbs, and look how cute that is. They actually incorporated wax roses inside of her candle. And it is a wood wick candle, so I love that it makes the crackling sounds. I love wood wick candles, and I absolutely love that her candles are completely coconut and soy wax based, and I really love it because they burn evenly. I don't know if you guys noticed, this was from her old lineup, the last one she did, and I've been using this for about 4 or 5 months, you guys, and look at this. I'm halfway through the candle, and it's burnt evenly, and I love that because it doesn't have any tunneling, so I'm not throwing away half of the candle, and I really love that about this. And her products smell so good, and it's so natural, but I really love her candles, you guys, so check them out. She doesn't have much of this line left, and next time that I post about this, it'll be a new line. So if you guys are actually interested in trying out this line, please do so. It's in the description box. Help support me and my friend and our community. I really appreciate that, you guys. Thank you so much. Now back on to the video. Hi guys. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. You guys can take a second to pick which coin or what deck you would like. If you guys need a little bit longer, go ahead and pause the video, and the timestamps will be listed down below in the description box. All right, if you guys chose pile number 1 or this silver looking cool coin, let's see if I can get it close up. This will be your guys' reading. So what is your guys' purpose? What is my pile number 1's purpose? Okay, pile number 1. What is your guys' purpose? And before we get into it, let's just kind of talk about what purpose is. Like, the definition of purpose is having a reason to create something or just to get something done. It's like basically having a reason for something to exist, right? That's what our purpose is. It's why are we trying to create this thing? Why are we doing what we're doing? Why do we want this to exist? And I feel like for a lot of you guys, your purpose, it's been really hard for you to kind of just figure out what it is that you want, or at least like what you really truly want to create. I think that at one point in time, maybe you guys, like, it just kind of feels like you've gone through a lot of transformation, but also a lot of like learning from your lessons and making mistakes along the way. And it's almost like you're wondering, when are you going to probably catch that break? So I get that for a lot of you guys. What is your purpose is it's kind of interesting because you guys kind of give me that teacher vibe. We have Sagittarius here, the Wheel of Fortune, and I don't know why. I just kind of get that feeling that your guys' purpose is the connections that you make, but the lessons that you have taught others or others have taught you. So in a lot of ways, some of your like okay, I can't talk. A big portion of your guys' purpose is not necessarily tangible. It's more like the friendships that you create is a part of your purpose. So you are the type of person that has a tendency of wanting to learn a lot. Maybe you want to travel. There's definitely some kind of an adventurous vibe that I get from this pile. And I think that what your purpose is that I think some of you guys, you just really want like to learn and gain higher knowledge of things and people. Some of you guys are like interested in like psychology and stuff, or you just like to learn things about people. And I think that is also what's going to serve you in the long run for creating abundance in the future, because a lot of the friendships and a lot of the people that you meet along the way is what's going to kind of help you get a footing in life and actually kind of help you find the things that you do want to create. So for some of you guys, you've been kind of lost or kind of aimless a little bit about what it is that you actually want to do. I kind of get this feeling that you guys have had several different types of ideas of like, oh, I could create this or I could do that, but then you kind of second guess yourself and you doubt yourself. This pile feels like the pile that kind of wants to be their own boss. I don't think you really want to necessarily work for other people, and if you do, it's like you want to have a one-on-one, right? If you're going to own a business, you might want to be the type of person that wants to have a co-ownership with a person, like a friend, or so maybe you won't necessarily be by yourself, but maybe you will co-own a business with someone, or like you work well with others. And I think that that is going to be, again, a purpose that you're going to fulfill in this life, because a lot of people, I feel like with this pile, you guys have a lot of wisdom to teach, but also there is the rapport that you create with people. It feels like it might even last lifetimes, because if when you care about people, you really care about people, and that is a kind of, in a way, like your own purpose. It's like that's kind of your way of giving back to humanity. Because let's face it, like really, when you think about purpose, why would we really care to want to know what our purpose is if we're not wanting to truly help people? Because why just create something for yourself if no one else can enjoy it, right? So it's kind of like you guys are really learning to incorporate the things that you enjoy and sharing that with others. So some of you guys have had a lot of loss and a lot of tower moments in your life. And I think that this is another thing that's kind of helping you go towards your purpose, because this pile, I think you've had a lot of things that you didn't like, or a lot of stuff that kind of, like I said, just was bad for you or went wrong in some way. And I think that this is teaching you like not to make the same mistake in the future, but also why perhaps this has happened to you. Because now that you know the things you don't want, you can start proceeding forward for the things you do want. So it's almost like this loss, whether this was a financial loss, a relationship, something here that you feel that you have put a lot of time and effort into, and you lost that, it's actually going, and it's like, again, the tower moment happened, but it's actually building you up so that you can form a stronger foundation for your family and for yourself and your loved ones. Because if you didn't go through a certain tower moment or a certain issue in your life, you wouldn't be getting to the higher status that you will have now or in the future. So I feel like for you guys, it's like right now, even though you perhaps do not even realize it, pile number one, you are building yourself, and it's almost like if you have like a little hobby or there's little things that you do, that is kind of, in a way, you're going to be able to incorporate that into your purpose. So this kind of feels like a very unique pile. And I just get like, again, very transformational. I feel that for a lot of you guys, a lot of the things that you've had to go through made you have a more of a higher clarity about yourself. Because I get this feeling that after you lost something and this was a very hard situation for you, it could have even been hard for you to bounce back emotionally or financially. But when you found yourself back into that footing, it's like this community or these people that you care about, I feel like will kind of help you or support you in some way. But I get that for a lot of you guys, your creativity is being sparked. You're coming up with new ideas. You have an idea and you go for it, and it somehow will work itself out. Because I feel like you guys are a very lucky pile. I think that things can kind of run a little smoother for you, especially when you learn to not resist it. You just kind of are accepting of it. Then everything just kind of flows like faster and easier for you. And I think that even though sometimes you lose the insight of like where you're going to go, because I think that for this pile, what I see you guys struggling with is this doubt. You have a lot of self-doubt, and there is this fear that you don't like, there's this fear of missing out or losing out again. So you're kind of afraid to move forward. So there's a little bit of trust issues here between yourself. And I think that once you can find a way to work kind of past that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to actually see where your strengths lie. Because I think for some of you guys, you may not even realize your true talents or your true potential. And it's just because you're afraid of kind of almost stepping out of that comfort zone, out of fear of being burned or hurt again. So you kind of like set yourself back a little bit each time. And that's what's slowing down the process of you really truly knowing your purpose and what you want to do. But I feel like once you figure out your truth and who you are, everything that felt like jumbled or felt insane or was really hard for you to decide which you should pick, it's going to make complete sense to you. So you're going to actually have clarity, but it's like having to get over that self-doubt that you have. And again, I do see that you guys have had some major transformations when it comes to having to use your own resources, having to maybe let go of certain relationships, having to let go of certain things in your life that just, does not serve you. And it's having to kind of like forgive yourself for that. So it's like you're learning to evolve and let go. And you might even do things in the future that will serve you down the line in your purpose. And it may even be kind of outside the box, or a little, like, people might look at that and think that's kind of weird that you will do it like that. But that's what ends up making you money, right? Is because you've had to transform and you've had to grow and change so many times, that's what's going to give you money, because you now understand the lessons, but also you have matured enough to where you can actually see things differently. And so when you actually do, like, say for instance, like, you have a business and you make jewelry, you'll do something to your jewelry that's like a little unique, like a little signature that you do, and it's different than anybody else's, and that makes you kind of stand out. Because Pluto, even though it's very secretive, it can stand out. Scorpios can stand out, right? So there is a little something kind of unique there. I think a lot of you guys, you have this charming energy about you. I think that, I don't know if you guys are extroverts or you've just kind of learned to communicate in such a way that it really kind of gets people moved, or it really makes people want to listen to you or be there with you. And again, it's like you have some kind of wisdom, some kind of inner knowledge or knowing that also backs that up. So people kind of learn, it's almost like pile number one, you kind of give off a little bit of this trustful vibe, even though you perhaps have, like I said, have a hard time trusting others or trusting yourself. You still kind of give off this trustful, honest vibe about you. And something about you just comes off very soft and pleasant, but yet very intriguing and different. And it just kind of changes the whole atmosphere of being around people. So people really enjoy getting to know you. And I feel like this is another reason I keep bringing up friendships, because we also have friendships here. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have relationships, is because I think that these people are going to help you find your purpose. You're going to meet people that are going to help you discover what is really, truly right for you. And you're going to have people that are going to nurture you and care for you. And I think it's because you've had to go through certain lessons with relationships. And I think maybe your career has had like on and off moments, or you just feel like you don't really know what you want to do. You just don't feel really happy in the job you have or in certain situations in that way. But because you've been taking some time to heal yourself and build certain friendships, and again, like letting certain things go, you're making kind of room for new people to come in. But I feel like you're going to have like a couple of people that are going to support you and are going to uplift you and give you the advice that you really need, or at least give you the love and the support that you need. And so you are kind of like it's going to shock people as well with your purpose, because I feel like you guys are kind of mysterious in a lot of ways. There's a lot of people that don't know a whole lot about you, and I think that you can pick up energies really easily, so you can kind of read people easier. And I think that is also one of your purposes, because it's going to help you pick the right type of people to have in your life. It's going to help you kind of guide you into a direction in which you're going to thrive and flourish. So I feel like a lot of you guys, you have a lot of psychic abilities and psychic gifts that I think that you could use. And as you're using them, that's also going to help you kind of navigate through your life. Because with you guys, you may have more than one purpose. It feels like you have a purpose with friends and family and people that you hold close to you, as well as there is some kind of purpose that you're going to have that's going to make you a lot of money, but you are going to go about it in a weird way that a lot of people, it's going to throw people off and they might not understand it. And so it's like you're having to learn to build up your self-worth enough to know that even if it doesn't make sense logically, trusting your own intuition and trusting yourself and taking certain risks is actually going to pay off for you guys in the long run. So I feel like for this pile, it's like you are kind of almost learning how to be almost practical, but at the same time, also like allow things to be what they are, even if it doesn't seem logical. So I feel like you guys are also going to get random opportunities that's just going to come in and things are going to happen. You guys are going to have people that want to collaborate with you. You're going to have people that are going to want to support your business or want to support what you're doing or what you believe in. And this is just going to help you so much. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, a lot of doors are opening up for you. You're going to find new communities. And because of that, it's going to give you that stability. It's going to give you that support, that love, that nurturing that you need. And it's also going to help you kind of tweak your perfection a little bit when it comes to your purpose. So if you have something that, say you're making a product, you're going to have somebody around you and they might point something out and say, you know, if you did it this way, it'll look better or it will be better. And so it's like you're going to have people that are going to help you kind of like critique certain things and help you see things differently. So I feel like for you guys, there's something here, and I keep wanting to say create. I feel like you guys are either like creative, like artistic, or you want to create a business. You want to do something that it kind of just feels entrepreneurial. Like you don't know where your next paycheck is going to come from. You know, it's kind of like that instability, like that, oh, I don't know if I should do it. But yet you want to be like your own boss, so you want to do your own thing. So this is kind of the pile that I feel like you guys are. I think that you guys have also had a really hard time with your health at one point in time. And I think that this is another reason as well, as perhaps you understand, it's like you're healing your health, pile number one, and that is another purpose, because I think that some of you guys have been really sick, like at a young age or growing up, and I think you are also able to help other people with similar situations. So this is another way that you help people, because if you think about it, your purpose can be in multiple ways. It can just be on how kindly you talk to somebody, and then that changes that person's life. And the next thing you know, that person went and did something and made something of themselves because you were that catalyst to help set them on that path. So I feel like for you guys, you're kind of like that. You're like this catalyst. You have a lot of knowledge. You've gone through a lot of things. And so you give really sound advice. You maybe, like I said, have had some kind of health issue that you are learning and overcoming, and now you can help other people with it, or at least like help other people understand their condition better. And again, the friendships that you guys make, it's like you have certain friends for a reason, and it's like you guys work towards developing friendships. And I think, again, you are learning to grow. You're getting growth. You're learning to grow from family and friends, and from situations in your past that you saw was a loss, but actually was a blessing, because it's like helping you let go of things that didn't really serve you, so that you can actually go after the things that are truly important to you and what will be the most beneficial for other people. So, in the long run. So I feel like you guys are really expanding and really growing, and over time, your purpose is going to get more and more solid and firm in the foundation of your life. So you're going to have family that is you have intentionally created in your life that is going to give you a better solid foundation and support network, and that's going to help you reach heights in your career. It's going to help you have, like, when you need help, others can help you. And because you're going to have such a huge network of people that you know, it's also going to help you, like, when, say, your car breaks down, oh, you know a friend that knows a guy that can do that for you. You know, like, you're going to have a bunch of networks that's going to just really help put things together for you. And I think because you've gone through tower moments and issues in your past, it is really emotionally balanced, you guys. And I think that is another thing as well, is because there's a lot of people walking around on planet Earth that are just like dysregulated. They are not able to regulate their own emotions and stabilize themselves. And so when you can come around with a more harmonious, more peaceful energy and just that stability emotionally, it gives other people a better understanding of what emotional balance looks like, but also it allows other people to feel safer in that environment and safer in that presence. And I think that's another reason why relationships is a big one for you guys as well, is because you are helping strangers, you are helping close people in your life. It's like you guys are, your main connection, it feels like, is just relationships and friendships. And because you guys are learning and you're maturing and you're growing from this situation, it's actually going to push you guys in a direction where you're going to feel love, you're going to feel cared for, but also there is this really figuring out who you are, pile number one. Your purpose is going to help you love yourself and respect yourself more as well. And it's going to help you start to build your self-worth and self-esteem, because everything that you have gone through has shaped you into a more kinder, beautiful person, because it's like you took your hardships and you changed them around. You gave yourself the permission to heal and let go, and you work hard towards certain things. Like, I feel like for this pile, health was a huge concern, and I see that working out for you in the future. I see that working out for you long term over time, because you're learning how to balance yourself, you're learning how to grow, you're going to have more support, more supportive people, and that's just going to help build your business and help build up your self-worth, and again, that's going to contribute to your purpose. We have here sound. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, I don't know if you guys are musicians, maybe you make music, maybe you talk, and maybe you do like podcasts, or you talk, or whatever it is that you do. There's something here that incorporates sound or music, or again, the way you talk to people, the way you sound. It's very soothing. There's something about you that comes off like you're consistent. You're like this consistency, this cadence in people's lives. And people know that they can always call and rely on you, and that you're always going to be there. And you're just kind of like that type of person. So you're building a strong foundation. And I feel like music could also inspire you, to also help motivate you to keep going as well. So if you're working or something, and say you have nothing to do with music, but say you're at your job and you're working, you might want to put music on, and it helps you get into that flow. It helps you get into that purpose, because it's like you're kind of relaxing more, you're going with it more. And so I feel like sound is a maybe a way for you. Some of you guys could even be doing sound therapy, or eventually maybe that's what some of you guys are going in the direction of, right? There's something here of, again, wanting to help people, this feels like a very caring, loving pile. It's like really wanting to love and help and care for people. So I feel like some of you guys could even do sound therapy, or you guys are, again, like music can be healing for you. There's something here that is helping you along your purpose. And we also have here money. Oh, that was in the upright, but we have here money. So we have finances, power, generosity, and abundance. So you guys are meant to be abundant in this lifetime. You guys are meant to actually stumble across money. And I feel like, again, you taking certain little risks and you working towards things that you know is going to make you happy and is going to benefit you and others in the long run is actually going to help you generate a lot of money, even perhaps passive income. So some of you guys might even have more than one stream of income, more than one avenue to make money. I feel like this pile is very, like I said, very artistic, or just, again, very, you guys don't necessarily follow the beaten path. You guys do what you want to do. So I feel like you guys might even have multiple different businesses in the future, or multiple different streams of income, or you create more than one project or more than one thing. And it's like you guys' main goal is like always to be evolving and growing, and that is what's really going to serve you in the long run. So for a lot of you guys, at the bottom of this deck here, we have that heart chakra. So it's really learning to open up your heart chakra to people and circumstances, and also to opportunities. I think you guys have a lot more opportunities than you realize. And I don't think you realize how lucky you really are. It's like you have Jupiter or, Sagittarius, Jupiter. It's like it's really highlighting something here where I feel like you guys are going to be very lucky. You're going to run into people in circumstances that are going to give you a leg up in life. So it's like stay optimistic and again, keep that heart chakra open because I think that the opportunities that are going to come your way, pile number one, is a lot of it is going to be through relationships, and that is going, like I said, really lay down that foundation for your purpose, and it's only going to help you build faster and help you grow quicker and get you to where you actually want to be in the long term. So that's really what I have for my pile number ones. I hope that this resonates for you guys, and I hope that this helps you in some way. Thank you guys so much. Have a great and wonderful day, pile number one. Bye. All right, those of you guys that chose pile number two, this little gold coin. This is your guys' reading. So, what is my pile number two's purpose? What is my pile number two's purpose? Okay, pile number two. What is your guys' purpose? So before we get into it, I kind of just want to talk about the definition of purpose. So it basically means to create or to do something, to be done with something, to have something exist. So while we think about our purpose, it's like, what is it that we really want to create? What is it that we really want to bring into existence? And what is it that we want to be known for, right? So these are good questions to ask ourselves, especially when we feel lost or we don't really know what we have to offer people. So I think for this pile, you guys have had a lot of ups and downs. But I do believe that you guys are actually, like, your pile seems a little chaotic or a little hectic, but only because there is a lot that I think has happened to you guys. So I don't know if you guys have been, say, divorced or you have lost a lot of financial stability in your life at one point or another. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this pile, whether you've been divorced and that's how you lost your finances or your home life, or again, there's something here where some of you guys, you could have even been homeless at one point. So this is the type of pile that I am picking up already, but you guys have this uncanny willpower about yourself that I don't think that at times you truly acknowledge about you, because I think other people around you have seen you can manifest. They've seen you get yourself out of a terrible situation and you created a better environment for yourself or a better situation long term. So people are really actually really, I want to say some people are jealous, but a lot of people are inspired by you. So pile number two, you guys have gone through a lot, and I feel like you have lost a lot of, like I said, money or finances or both, like just the family, the finances, like all kinds of different things. You guys have gone through some really challenging experiences, and I think that this is also what is going to shape you down the road towards succeeding in your purpose. So a lot of you guys, I think that this is kind of interesting. So some of you guys are learning to develop a mentality of being unbothered. Perhaps in the past, you really cared a lot about what people think of you. And I think that you still do to some degree, but you're really trying to work on not necessarily caring about what other people think about you. Because I think that could have also slowed down your money, your resources, your finances, because you took other people's advice or you second guessed yourself. You allowed other people to interfere here. And now it's almost like you are a little bit more private with your affairs, with what you are doing, because you don't want other people involved or meddling in your business. So this pile does seem a little closed off to people or situations, but it's only because I think that you allowed other people to have drained your resources and your finances. And I think that you have gotten wiser and smarter for that, because maybe at one point you were so willing to give yourself to somebody or to do something for others, and now you're not as quick to just help people out. Not because you're not a loving or caring person, but because you're learning that not everyone has the best intentions for you, but also not everyone that asks for a handout actually needs it or really will honor or respect you for that, you know? Not everybody is truly grateful. I think you've had a lot of users in your life, pile number 2, or you've just been used a lot. We have the Empress and the 10 of Wands. So you guys have had a lot of burdens placed upon you. And I feel like at a young age as well, perhaps by a mother figure, you maybe had to support your mother financially, or maybe you feel like you had to be that emotional therapist, right? Maybe there was some kind of connection here, but I do get the feeling of a wounding of a feminine energy for this pile. Whether, I think you dealt with a wounded feminine that put a lot of burdens on you, and perhaps this is also equated to you having that wounded feminine in you. So there's something here, pile number 2, that you've had to jump hurdles. You've had to go through so many obstacles and learn to build up your self-worth and your self-esteem. And I feel like you had a lot of trials and errors when it comes to money, when it comes to resources. I'm also getting, for some of you guys, you dealt with people that spent a lot, that didn't know how to save or didn't know how to do certain things. So it's almost like you guys had to put up with certain people or certain circumstances that, again, drained you emotionally, drained you financially, and like you just had people leeching off of you or hurting you in some capacity here. You guys held on. You guys are holding on to certain things in the past, I think, that have hurt you. And I think it comes back to those resources being drained in certain circumstances. I think you guys have beat yourself up over it. And you guys have maybe really punished yourselves, right? Really being harsh to yourself. And especially when it's the times that you need it most, when you need to be kinder to yourself. So I feel like this pile, you guys are having to learn to be more gentle towards yourself. And that is actually going to help you find your purpose and to help you create what it is that you want, right? Because, our purpose can just be having kids and being a stay-at-home mom. Our purpose can be going out and helping people in third world countries, right? It can be anything. It can just be, my purpose for today is to go get a sandwich and go do this and that for me. Anything can really be a purpose. And I think that a lot of people, we do look at purpose as a financial thing, but it really can just be the simplest of things. And I feel like for this pile, it's having to learn to kind of almost let down the walls that you have. You don't necessarily have to do that to other people, but for yourself, like inside, I feel like when you make a mistake or when you think about doing something, I feel like that Queen of Swords, she can be kind of cold or detached. And I feel like sometimes perhaps you can be that way to yourself. So the way that you talk to yourself can also make a huge impact, whether it makes or breaks what you want to create. You hold the power, pile number 2, in your own hands on what it is you want to create. But I feel like for you, some of the things that you want that is going to contribute to your purpose is going to be something that's not necessarily tangible. I still think you are going to be grounded and still going to be firmly planted into the earth, right? You're going to still have a business or still have finances. But I think that one of your guys' purpose for being here is to gain a higher wisdom, to gain a higher spiritual knowledge. There's something about your spirituality that is going to help not only help you find your purpose, but I think that is a part of your purpose, is to find your soul, to find yourself again. And I think that for you guys, you've just had to go through difficult situations with difficult people to really teach you who you are. And I think that, again, maybe you've had a lot of people that could have displayed to you that you were not worthy, that you were not lovable. There's definitely like this part of you that feels like you don't deserve certain things. So for this pile number 2, I feel like you guys need to learn to be more receptive. I think you guys are always the giver. You guys are always the one that goes out and does things for people. You care about people. You want to show that, right? You are very action oriented when it comes to how you express yourself and how you express your love to others. And I think that unfortunately, a lot of the times it was not reciprocated, or it wasn't given to you in the way that you would have liked or needed. And so now you guys are having to learn to kind of heal that wounded feminine side of you, and kind of acknowledge that you do deserve the things that you are asking for and that you do deserve to be happy. So I feel like you guys, maybe sometimes you kind of get a creativity, but then you stifle that creativity, right? So it's like for this pile, you're having to really tap back into that life force energy, tapping back into that creative side, that childlike behavior that you have. That's going to really help you guys. So healing that inner child. And I feel like, again, here, the 12th house, it's all about that surrender, the subconscious mind, right? Releasing baggage that might not even be your own baggage, that maybe other people have put onto you, like insecurities and beliefs. So for this pile, I feel like you guys have had a really rough childhood. And I think that this really rough childhood helped shaped you to becoming, it's like you had to grow up too early. And it's really shaped you to being more, try to be more mature in your life and try to get your stuff together, right? Because I think that perhaps you've been around people that didn't get their stuff together, and you've been around others that depended on you, that leached off of your energy, that tried to use you for what you can give them instead of just appreciating who you are. And I think that is what one of your purpose is to feel like, I need to figure out who I am, what I want. And there's a lot of mystery behind who you really are, because I think that some of you guys don't really truly realize the true capacity in which you have, the real strength in which you have. You guys are like amazing manifestors. I think you guys can manifest way easier than the average person, but perhaps you don't realize that, or because you have certain like fears or beliefs, it holds you back from truly like manifesting. But I believe that you guys have the ability to create whatever it is that you really want. I just feel like with this pile, it's like the world is in your hands, but you just don't realize it because you've had so many people. And let's be honest here, pile number 2. I think the reason you also had so many terrible people that tried to beat you down or tried to take things from you or tried to hurt you in some way, I think the reason that happened is because I believe that people, they can see that potential before we do. And I think they wanted to kind of stop that because, a lot of people, you never know, a lot of people have this fear, this lack mentality, and it keeps people stuck. And it's like me against the world. And, it's like every dog, it's like, what was it that I'm trying to say? It's like, it's a dog-eat-dog world, right? And it's not. But people who have that type of mindset, they don't really think clearly. And I think that you've been around people who was afraid that you were going to outshine them or that you were going to outdo them or you're going to leave them behind in the dust, right? So a lot of these people, they saw the potential before you did, and they were afraid that you were going to move on or be better than them, and they didn't want to see that happen. So you might have just been around a lot of hateful people or a lot of people that just did not support you or give you, again, what you really needed in a relationship, in a family, in a partnership, in business. It's like maybe you've been overlooked several times, right? Maybe you were hoping for this promotion or for this career, and you were probably the most logical choice, or also the most like uh I don't know why I keep going blank on words, you guys. Um, you would be the better option, right, for this position, but someone else always seems to get it, or there's always seems to be something that kind of comes around. And it's because it's like, again, there's a lot of opportunities that come your way, but because perhaps you have played it small, or you didn't have as much a high self-esteem, it was easier for people to overlook you. And it was only because you started to kind of try and hide your own self. But again, you guys, with the Libra and the Venus, I have Libra in my midheaven, if you know astrology. So your midheaven tells you what your career is and what it is that you want to do before you die. So for me, I want to kind of spread love, joy, and beauty before I die. That's what I want to be remembered as, right? And for you guys, that's kind of what you have. You have this idealistic idea about situations, and I feel like you guys have a lot of really good ideas that could help people, that could actually not only better humanity, but could actually do good for others around you. But because you don't see that worth inside yourself, you don't see the skills that you have, because you've been around so many negative people, or again, so many people who only saw you for what you can give them instead of just for who you are as a person, it has really impacted the way that you maneuver in life. And I feel like that is kind of going to be changing and shifting for you guys, because again, there are events and things in your life that are constantly changing. And because of that, you guys are going to eventually break out of that mold that other people have restricted you into. And you're going to be able to be who you are. When we think of the radical here, I think of like kind of like that rebel. Aries can be pretty, like, it's kind of funny because when I know Aries, a lot of the times, people think, oh, they're really selfish and they're really self-absorbed. And especially now that we have the sun here, some people may even, unfortunately, pile number 2. Because you've been dealing with a lot of haters, I just want to let you know that when you do start to once you do start to figure out your purpose and you start to go towards that purpose, just be self-aware that a lot of people may be like, oh, pile number 2 just thinks they're better than us now. And pile number 2 is just egotistical or just selfish. But you cannot listen to people like that, because those are the people that are angry that they can't take advantage of you anymore. If somebody is really, truly supportive of you, they would understand why you said no to certain things. Maybe you can't afford it. Maybe you can't do that at the moment. Maybe you are actually busy. Maybe you just don't feel like it. And if I feel like once you start putting boundaries up with people, you're going to start seeing a lot of lashback. You're going to start seeing a lot of things, but it's because you guys are going to start learning to step back into your power. So it's almost like people have tried to dim your shine, and it was successful for a little bit, but again, people still saw the shine. You just tried to downplay it, and now you're not doing that anymore. Now you're just saying, you know what? No, I am who I am. I want this. I'm going to go for this. Life is short, and you guys deserve to do and go after the goals and the dreams that you want. If you want a family, you deserve that. If you want a bigger, better career, you deserve that. If you want so much amount of money in the bank, you deserve that. Like, you have to start telling yourself you deserve better than what you have, because currently, pile number 2, I think you guys are settling, which is actually kind of stifling your purpose, because your purpose is to keep changing. Your purpose is to keep evolving. Your purpose is to show other people what is possible. And again, I think another thing for you is learning who you are as a spiritual being, I think, is your purpose. So you guys are actually going to kind of shift out of this meek, I don't know if I should do this, I don't know if I can, to straight into like a badass who knows their worth, who knows who they are, who isn't shaken by other people's opinions. Like, this is what you guys are slowly evolving into, if not already. So let's get more into this pile number 2. We have here friendships. Yeah, I think that, for you guys, you're going to start forming better friendships and better connections, because I think that the ones that you've had have kind of slowed you down to who you truly are. So now you guys are kind of working into that situation that you're not going to feel so stifled in relationships. I think you're going to learn to set healthier boundaries with people. And I think that's going to actually help you find people that are really going to actually love you and respect you for who you are, instead of, like, again, instead of what you can give. So really learn to be, again, more in that receptive mode, pile number 2, and you're going to start seeing things just shifting and changing in your life like crazy, because you guys are the manifestors. You guys are that magician. So the magician doesn't go out and, they gather their tools, they gather what they need, they think about their thoughts, they think about the feeling, they think about where they're going to go, they plan it out, and then they allow it to come to them. They don't go chase after it. And I think that is what you guys are kind of learning, is you're going to be magnetizing things to you instead of repelling it away and you have to run towards it. So gratitude really is a fundamental key for manifestation, as well as just gaining better opportunities, more money, because people want to gravitate towards grateful people. When people give you a gift, for me, it's kind of funny. I don't know, but I have a lot of people who do this. Somebody will give me something like a gift, and I will just be really excited. And it shocks people because, a lot of times people are really uncomfortable with receiving, but I'm not. I will receive it, and I'm super excited about it. And then I notice that it makes them want to be more happy when they receive. And not only that, but that makes them want to give me more things because they like to see how excited and happy I am. So you see how that works? When you have that gratitude, not only does that make the person who's giving it to you more happy because you're receiving it and you're actually enjoying it, and they are like, wow, I helped cause that person joy. How good that feels for the person who's giving. So learn to receive in a grateful, happier way, instead of feeling awkward or feeling like you don't actually deserve it. Because pile number 2, you do deserve everything that you are asking for and more, but you're just not seeing that worth yet. You're not seeing what you truly deserve. So we also have here adversity, and I feel like, again, you guys have overcome so many challenges, so many burdens, and that is really inspiring to people, and that also makes people want to change as well. It makes other people want to get better because of that. So you guys are really helping people. But again, see envy. People around you are envious because you have something that they don't. And even if you look around and think, well, what do I have that they don't? Or this person's in a better position. Why would they be envious? Maybe it's because of your energy. Maybe it's because of how you carry yourself. Maybe it's because of what you have. You never know what people wish that they have that you do. But also here, you guys, because you've gone through so much, you are learning to develop that discipline, which, again, that consistency, that discipline is going to take you very far in life, pile number 2, because it's going to be incorporating that change that you need. So your routines, the things that you go after, the discipline that you have is going to really uproot and change a lot of things in your life. And it's going to be change for the better, nothing negative. Even if something appears negative, you guys, and this is true for almost anything, even if something appears negative, always think, okay, because if you think about it, there's always positive and negative in every situation, right? That's kind of like what the whole yin yang is, right? So if you think about it, when something appears negative, where is the underlying positivity that is happening? Right? So we have to really look at things like that instead of looking at it and being looking at the reality and be like, oh no, this isn't what I want. It actually could very well be what you want. It just is in a different package, right? You ask the universe for something, and if they deliver it to you, it might not come to you in the way that you thought it was going to come to you. It may come in a different package. It may come in a different time, in a different, like you're expecting it to come tomorrow, but it might come in a week from now, a month from now, right? So we have here possessions. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you've lost a lot of your possessions. You've had a lot of financial issues from time, like ups and downs. Maybe you've even had people take possessions from you, like steal things from you. And this has helped you guys kind of start to detach from the possessions. I think you are realizing, especially with that 12th house and surrender, you're realizing if I lose a possession, I can always just get it back, right? You guys are learning that it's okay to let things go. You guys are really learning to go with the flow of life instead of being so worried about every little thing. And I feel too, you guys are actually, as you're going down this journey, you're learning to actually find enjoyment, right? You're learning to find that enjoyment, that sensuality. You're going to start finding like the things that you indulge in, the things that you enjoy, the pleasures of life is actually going to help you find your purpose as well. Because when you're in that receptive, I'm enjoying this moment, it's a great moment, things like ideas, situations, opportunities pop up when we're in that pleasure and in that enjoyment. Because you're vibrating much higher than you would if you were just stressed or anxious. So you guys, right now, you're really learning how to control and develop your emotions to where you have become emotionally more mature. Because you've had to go through a lot and you've had a lot of changes and you've had a lot of setbacks, it has caused you guys to learn to balance out your emotions and to really get more grounded in yourself. So the two chakras that I see that have been really affected by this is your sacral and your base chakra, your root chakra, and both of those are contributed to money and finances and creation. So you guys are actually starting to work on those two lower chakras, which is actually going to build that foundation. And so as you're doing that, you're going to start noticing little things are going to fall into place. Other things are going to start making more sense to you. Situations kind of just line up for you. And it's because what you're doing is you're finding a way. Here at the bottom of the deck, you guys, we have grounding. So you're finding a way to ground your energy, and that's what's going, and then the sacral is what's magnetizing in that energy. So as you're grounded and you're staying in yourself, when you think about those desires, when you think about what you want and then you release it, you don't think about it anymore. You don't stress about it because you know it's going to come to you. And you trust in yourself and you trust in God or in the universe, things are going to just start flowing in so much faster for you guys. And it's because you're staying grounded and you're staying in your own energy. So you guys have a lot of unique, you guys have a very unique purpose. And I feel like it's going to be something that may not even seem like a purpose, right? Because like I said, some of it is going to be tangible and some of it is not going to be tangible. And I think that's what is evolving you. Everything that has been going on in your guys' life is just led you guys to learn to balance out yourself, to balance yourself. And that is really what's going to shift and change you guys for the better. But yeah, temperance there, balancing out those emotions, balancing out your beliefs, balancing out what you think is and isn't right for you. And it's like really learning to just accept things. So with this pile, I feel like your purpose is really learning self-control, learning not to allow other people of their opinions and their beliefs to stifle you and to keep you from shining and holding yourself back. So you're really learning to figure out who you are. And once you kind of cultivate all of these little things that have happened to you in your life, all of a sudden you're going to just kind of pop off and you're going to be this new person. So I feel like you're going to shock people and you're going to change people and you're going to wake people up to a different reality than they even realized was possible. So that's really what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this resonated for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great and wonderful day, pile number 2. Bye. All right, pile number 3. If you guys chose this coin, this copper looking coin, or this deck. This is going to be your guys' reading. What is my pile number 3's purpose? What is my pile number 3's purpose? Okay, pile number 3. What is your guys' purpose? So before we even get into it, I kind of want to just talk about like the definition of purpose. So the definition of purpose is to create or to get something done. It's basically a reason for something to exist, right? So now that we kind of understand like what a purpose is, it doesn't have to be something like a career or something tangible necessarily, right? So I want to kind of have that as kind of a keep an open mind for what your purpose could be in life, because it can be several different things as to how or why we have a certain purpose. So pile number 3, I feel like what your guys' purpose is you have gone through a lot of different things that you have had to learn to heal and work through. And because of that, I feel like your life purpose is to almost heal other people. This feels like people that would be like nurses, doctors, or practitioners, or people that just, they do something in the medical field or some form of healing. And healing can be in many ways. It can be music. It can be just like even an actor can be healing, right? Just to watch them and watch a show and giggle and laugh, that can be healing. So it's just like whatever it is that you end up doing that is your purpose, pile number 3, it is going to help heal other people. It's going to soothe others. So that is something that I'm getting already very strongly for you guys. But as you can tell here, I think that a lot of you have been through a really terrible situation. I think that at times you've maybe had to even emotionally close yourself off to continue to go on living through life. So this feels like a pile you've had a lot of people or like a situation in your past that I feel like could have been a betrayal or could have been something that really devastated you, and it's been really hard to kind of move past that, to give yourself the ability to let it go, because there was some kind of an emotional attachment there was some kind of loss, hurt, pain, but there's a scar here that needs to be healed. And I think it's kind of interesting that we got Chiron, because Chiron is that wounded healer. So I feel like whatever this was is almost kind of in a way like you helping other people heal is going to help you in a way kind of heal your own wound. So Chiron is that is like it's a comet in the sky that if you look at it in your natal chart, it tells you where in whatever position you're in. It's interesting because my Chiron is in the 10th house. So maybe you have Chiron in the 10th house or in the 5th house or in the 9th house. But there's definitely something here where you have something from your childhood that could have really wounded you, that you need to look, that it's like your purpose is going to help other people heal that wound that's similar then. So, okay. Let's say like one of your parents walked out on you. You having that abandonment wound, you can also give other people like that healing ability to help them heal their abandonment wound and their issues. But it's a wound that it seems like it's always there for you. Like you can never quite heal it or work through it. But when you help relieve that for others, in a way, you feel like you're healing yourself because you're seeing them being healed. So that is what I'm trying to kind of get at here. So a lot of you guys, perhaps you have an idea for a business or an idea to make money, and you feel it emotionally, like intuitively you see that this is a good opportunity or that I should take this, and logically you're trying to plan out the steps and what you would need to do to take that action. But for some reason, you guys, there is a hesitancy on taking that action. It's like you guys are over planning a situation to the point where now it's just completely stagnancy instead of just doing it. So if you were like, man, I would really like to I don't know here, like I would really like to take a certain lessons, right? I'd like to learn to like take these lessons to learn a new language or to do something. And you understand like this is a good idea, I should go do this, I need to do that. But then you don't go sign up for that class, or you don't go and do that, but you'll think about it and you'll get the go ahead from like your emotions and your thoughts. But to take that physical action, I think, is where you guys have a tendency of stopping yourselves. You have that tendency of saying, oh, I don't know if I should go after that or do that. There's something here of second guessing yourself, not having trust that you can do something. Sometimes you guys doubt yourself, and that kind of blocks your own intuition from actually success, because there is something here that you need to let go of that is no longer serving you, and it almost feels like something that is kind of like an anchor that's really pulling you down, and you need to learn to release it, but that maybe there's a part of you that is afraid to do so. But if you would release it, you actually would become very successful. Or that it's like, imagine you've been walking around with 10 pounds on you for months, and so you're just walking around with extra weight, and all of a sudden you let go of that weight. Now you can move easier, and you actually feel lighter, and you can move faster even because you've built up that resilience. But you're holding on to things now that are, like I said, just not necessary anymore. So for a lot of you guys, what is happening is we can't really make sense of life. Life is always going to have its ups and downs. There's always going to have those little twists and turns. And sometimes we have plans that, oh, things are going to go this way, and then they don't happen that way. Things don't work out in the way we are hoping they do. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost. That doesn't mean that we're not actually still going to get what we want. It just means that you have to learn to evaluate what's important to you and how to maneuver around it, because life is always going to be challenging us. And I feel like for you guys, it's having to learn to know that you can take on those challenges and that it is okay to make a mistake. So I think that some of the reasons why maybe is because like there's that hesitancy to let something die or let something go. But when you do decide to finally let whatever this is, whether this is a relationship, a career that is just dead end, there's something in your life that is a dead end, and once you learn to release it and let it go, at first it's uncomfortable because you're not used to not having someone or having that career or having certain things in your life. So you're going to have to learn to acclimate to that, and you're going to have to learn to let go of certain things, because I do feel like for a lot of you guys, you do not even see what is actually being truly presented to you. So there is a part of this fear of, well, if I do take this action, if I do go towards this thing, how is that going to pan out for me? How is that going to work out for me? And it's like you kind of fight that in yourself. And now it's like, when you learn to let whatever is holding you back, pile number 3, dropping that dead weight, you're going to realize that there's no need to fight with others. There's no need to fight with yourself. Because I think that for you guys, you fight off your own thoughts a lot. You try not to think about certain things that bug you. And so it's like you're learning to kind of just pull back that energy and really learn to just say, you know what? It's okay to not really know what I want. It's okay that certain things didn't work out for me. I'm going to allow it to happen. I'm going to count my losses, even though I know that whatever I'm letting go of, I'm going to have an upgrade in the future, because that's what happens. We are always going to be evolving. So I feel like for a lot of you guys are starting to step back into that. So once you learn to kind of let go of this anchor and let go of whatever is holding you back, you're going to be in this weird moment where you're not sure what you're doing. You feel uncertain about things. And then once you kind of start to, like I said, settle down, that's when you're going to start to be able to step into that emperor energy, and you're going to really be able to shine and show off your true abilities. So for you guys, you really are naturally the emperor, but because you've had certain circumstances, certain things that have wounded you throughout your life, you're not seeing how truly accurate you really are, like who you really are as a person. And so you guys are actually going to be stepping into that power step. And I feel like for this pile, you really are going to be stepping into your power. So it's like you have these touch and go situations. You have these situations in your life where it's a struggle, because we have Saturn here. And when it came out, it was in the reverse. And I'm telling you, I think for a lot of you guys, it was such a trial and error for you with people and careers. And it's like Saturn was teaching you patience. Saturn was teaching you, like, because I think with this pile, you were like, I want to go, go, go. But every time you would take an action or every time you would do something, it would backfire. And I think that's why you were like, ooh, I don't really know if I should do this. But it was more like it was teaching you that structure. It was teaching you that it's discipline, that things take time, things need to build, and I think that, and here's the beautiful thing about Saturn. Not only does it teach us patience, and it teaches us the value of consistency and hard work. It's that really father-like energy, but it teaches you how to become more mature. It also allows you to gain insights that you never would have if you didn't slow down and see things more clearly, and to actually take the necessary steps that Saturn is asking you to do. So for this pile, your purpose is to not grind your life away and to work really hard, but to learn when to put in that hard work and that consistency, but to also know when to be patient and when to take action. So it's like, where do I pull back and when do I go forward? Those were kind of the things that I think you had a hard time with. And now it's going to really help you because of that Saturnian energy. It's going to be giving you that ability to understand the finessing of timing. When to take that action, when not to take that action, when's a good time to put in that effort, when's a good time to pull back and allow. So it's almost like that give and receive, that ebb and that flow. That's kind of what it's teaching you. So you guys are actually, with this 9th house, with that seeking the wisdom, because Saturn is giving you lessons, Saturn will not take away what it has given you, because that is your birthright. That's what you earned. You worked for it. But with this as well, is I feel like one of your guys' purpose is to study things that interest you. Your purpose is to figure out what it is and how to improve upon it. So you guys are the pile where you're learning self-discipline and you're learning patience. And that is giving you the permission to actually start gaining higher knowledge, gaining and taking the risk. You're learning to take more calculated risks because you're slowing down and you're really looking at things from all angles, and that is going to bring you a higher perspective of whatever it is that you are doing, whatever is the decision you're going to be making. So you guys are really actually changing and evolving, and I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're going to start being able to kind of balance out and be more socially aware, because when you slow down and when you are more observant, you're going to start noticing people around you. You're going to start being able to actually help people and to show people different sides to you even. I feel like you guys are actually going to be a lot more flexible and a lot more fair and more pleasing to be around. I think that for this pile, maybe at times you've had a lot of emotional upheavals where you've had those ups and downs, and maybe you've acted out in situations that you shouldn't have. Like maybe in the past you were more reactive than responsive. And so it's like that's why that Saturn was like pulling you back and saying, no, you cannot just react. You have to be careful. Because for some of you guys, you could have missed out on opportunities or missed out on certain things because you were too emotional or you were too reactive. And so Saturn was teaching you to be more stern, to be more disciplined, and to just evaluate and feel your emotions instead of immediately reacting, right? So I think that that is what it is you guys are becoming more observant. And because of that, the way that you interact with people is just going to change. You guys are really changing and evolving out of somebody that was uncertain about themselves, somebody that constantly second guessed themselves, someone that came from a hurtful situation, and you started to master and build up your self-esteem, your self-worth. You're starting to build up the foundations of whatever career or whatever you want to go in life. So you guys are actually starting to become more mature emotionally. You're going to start being more, and because you guys are doing that, you're going to start to actually be more sure of the actions that you take. When before you would second guess yourself, like, oh, am I making a mistake? Should I not do this? Like, you would always kind of go back and forth. Now you're not going to do that as much. You're going to just say, okay, I understand what I need to do. I trust myself, and I'm going to execute that action. I'm going to take that charge, and I'm going to see how it takes me and where I go with it. And that is very attractive. Pile number 3. You guys are going to be very attractive because of this self-discipline that you're developing. People are, like, everybody, doesn't matter, man or woman, masculine or feminine, discipline is just flat out sexy. So you guys are developing that. And I think that that's also going to give you guys better options as well in the long run. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're really expanding, you're really growing, you're really seeking things that are more positive for you. And because we have Jupiter and we have the 9th house, which is where Jupiter naturally resides, I keep getting this feeling that you guys are going to start traveling, maybe even outside of your country. You're going to start seeing new places. You're going to start experiencing new things. And that is also going to be maturing you, because you might even experience like cultural shock or certain cultures that actually help you to develop this identity around yourself that's going to be uplifting you and building you. So again, this healing energy that you possess, you're going to have a lot of different types of people that are going to be drawn to you, pile number 3, that want your energy. So maybe you're used to people that try to sponge off of you and take from you, but you are really learning to heal and work through certain areas in your life that's going to not only empower you, but is really going to take you really far. So it's like trusting that, your sensitive side, pile number 3, is a good thing. This side of you you have a lot of emotions. You're very in tuned emotionally. And I think that's why you get so overwhelmed. But that's what I'm telling you, is that Saturn is coming in and it was disciplining you. You had to get knocked off your butt. You had to keep falling and keep getting back up and falling and getting back up to the point where you're like, okay, I learned the lesson, and now you're more mature. And so because of that, it almost makes you so much stronger. And I feel like for you guys, these are the main houses that you're going to be dominating, which is, again, seeking higher knowledge. You're going to be learning new things, and you're going to be learning new things about cultures, people, experiences. You might even want to be reading more. There's something about you guys just gaining more wisdom. And then your reputation, your career, the way people see you when you go out on the streets, you guys are going to be known for the way that you represent yourself, the way that you come off to people. Because you're so disciplined in yourself now, and because you've developed that self-discipline, you guys are going to be seeing and reaping the rewards of your career and where you're going in that career and in whatever field you are doing. And also, again, people are going to look at you as a very reliable person, someone they can depend upon. So a lot of people are going to want to do business with you, or are going to want to book you as a you're going to have a lot of clients. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to want to be in your energy. And again, with that passion, you guys are going to still have fun. You guys are still going to have entertainment. Your whole life is not just going to be work, doom and gloom. Like, I think for this pile, you guys had a very heavy energy, and maybe you didn't have a whole lot of fun, and maybe you feel like life was just very mundane and it was just a struggle and it was really hard to get through the days. But when you start to enter in, and especially when you start to tap into your natural energy like that Emperor, you're going to start noticing that you can have that more creative, playful, happier side. So these are really what is developing for you guys, is understanding your self-worth, seeking knowledge, as well as your career advancing and having fun and being able to explore and kind of have that romance that perhaps you guys were seeking as well. Because you guys are letting so many things go, so many other things are going to come in, and it's going to serve you so much down the line. So your purpose, really, pile number 3, is the discipline. It's like yourself, right? You working on yourself, you putting in that time and that effort to healing and releasing. That is what is bringing in the miracles. That is what's bringing in the blessings, the opportunities. And that is also what is going to be building your career. Everything that you are working towards is actually incorporating itself into your purpose. So we have here patience. When it first came out, it flipped out in the reverse. I put it upright. And again, it's like that same thing, Saturn. I feel like those two were very connected. Saturn was teaching you patience, teaching you responsibilities. And because of that, now you're developing a lot more patience with yourself and others. And so maybe perhaps in the past, you would quit before you got ahead. You know, you would say, oh, this is taking too long, or why isn't this not sprouting overnight? And so you would get so frustrated. And now you understand that the best things take the most time. It takes time to build something successful. And I feel like that's another reason why you guys are actually starting to step into your power more, and how you guys are going to start finding your purpose is because once you start to develop that patience, you're going to have the patience to start tending to your seeds and planting what you want and allowing it to grow and allowing it to do its own thing without feeling like you have to rush it, right? Because rushing was what was keeping you stuck. It was kind of keeping you in that rat race because you felt like you had to take action immediately, or you had to react immediately instead of taking that second to pause. So you are now learning to pause before responding or reacting. You're learning to pause before making crazy decisions. It's like you're not as impulsive as you once were. So we also, again, discipline. So I feel like you guys can do whatever you put your mind to. Wherever you set your goals, you guys are going to achieve it, because I feel like you are understanding the value of patience, the value of discipline, the taking the time, the consistency. So your purpose is really pushing you to mature, maybe even to set, like, I know for me, for instance, I have a hard time having a schedule or keeping a certain schedule going. And I think maybe for you guys, you could be like that. Maybe you're a little chaotic and you don't really have that much structure in your life. And now it's like you're going to start having better structure in your life. You're going to start being able to set time frames and set certain things. It's going to really help you improve. And I think that that is also kind of one of your purposes in life, was you came here to learn self-discipline and learn the patience and learn the value of putting in the work. And that is also very inspiring to other people, because you're showing other people that they can do that too, as long as they are patient and they put in the work as well. So you're really actually not only healing people with whatever it is that you are going to be putting the work and effort into, but you're also a huge example for everyone around you, because they are seeing how your consistency and your self-discipline and allowing yourself to take better care of yourself and to be who you want to be is also going to impact the way they want to live their life. So we also have peace. And I think for a lot of you guys, you've had a lot of negative energy around you and a lot of people around you that could have caused you to even be emotionally unstable at certain times in your life. And so what you're learning is you're learning to set boundaries, and you're learning that not everyone deserves to have your love and your attention. So you're setting boundaries around yourself so that you can keep this peace. You want a peaceful life. And I see pile number 3 that you're going to get that because you're putting in that work and that discipline and in yourself, that it allows you to set a firmer boundaries with others so that other people do not take advantage of you, or others will not hurt you unless you allow that to happen, right? So you're really learning to find a way to where, like, you're learning to find relationships that bring you joy, that bring you peace, but you're also learning to say no to something that does not resonate with you or that does not make you happy. So we also have here self-esteem. So a lot of you guys are building and and honestly, you guys have a lot of gifts, and this is why too, is it's going to help push you into that building your self-esteem and building your self-worth. So you being consistent and you working hard is also going to show yourself that you are capable of developing and creating all kinds of different things for yourself. And you're going to start seeing things materialize because you're taking in that action, and because you're actually finally starting to take that steady, consistent action. It's going to actually help you build up your self-worth, because you're going to start seeing things manifest in your physical reality, which is going to also help you develop boundaries, help you develop certain things that's going to really benefit you in the long term. So what I really see as your purpose is, again, this healing, loving energy that you have, but also whatever work you do, you're going to help others. But again, it's like the purpose that you have is this knowing yourself better, knowing who you are. And that is what's bringing you purpose, because you know your worth and you know what you can create. And you know, like, eventually, once you start to develop that part of yourself to where you're like, oh, I have better self-esteem, I have more self-worth, that's when you're going to find that purpose. That's when you're going to say, oh my gosh, this is what I'm good at. This is what I can give people. This is how I can help others. And so once you find your self-worth and you're building up that self-esteem, boom, everything makes sense. The way you communicate to people, the way that you have this self-expression, the way that you share certain things with people, maybe you share your the struggles that you've gone through, what you've done, how you've gone through life, is going to really inspire other people and really make other individuals question themselves. It's going to help other people even want to better themselves. So you guys are actually uplifting the planet by your actions and by how you communicate. So your actions and communication, like, you say what you mean and you do what you say. So you are a person of your word and you are a person of integrity. And because of that, it is actually taking you very far in life. And a lot of people are seeing that you have that responsibility. You have that discipline. You are in wish fulfillment. For a lot of people, pile number 3, you are like kind of like a catch to a lot of people. But because you know how to communicate to people, you know how to take that right action and that right discipline, and you take responsibility for things. If it falls through, if something bad happens and you know that you were responsible, you take that responsibility. You know, you take responsibilities for your actions in every situation. So say you break up with an ex, you don't just blame the ex and not improve. You will take responsibility for what you have done in the relationship and improve upon that. And people really appreciate that about you. They really respect that about you. So this pile, you guys gain a lot of respect, and you guys are going to gain a lot of reputation with a lot of people, because a lot of people are going to look at you like this authority figure, like this boss, like this individual who knows their worth, knows who they are. And you're just really this reassuring figure in a lot of people's lives. So that's kind of your guys' purpose, is you guys are kind of this rock. You're kind of this person that is stable. You're this individual that takes accountability for yourself and works towards the things that you want. And so all this hard work and all this effort that you put in is just inspiring other people to do the same. So pile number 3, this is really inspirational, and I really appreciated doing this reading for you guys. I hope that this resonates for you in some way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful day, pile number 3. Thank you. Bye.